A minute 42 left here in the opening quarter. Here's Roberts. He's covered by Watson. Henderson dishes to Zeller. Feeds it to Henderson. They set the pick. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Gerald Henderson certainly helped by the acquisition of Al Jefferson, which created some space for him on the perimeter. And he's made great strides with his outside shot over his career.
And Henderson, a slasher, one of the best wings in the league at working himself to the line.
Also a steady defender, too, Kevin. And he has worked on developing his long-range shooting as well. And if he gets that piece, he'll be pretty balanced all around.
Now here's Scola, averaging 10 points per contest. Shot's good from Rudez. Charlotte has gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. And Roberts kicks to Henderson. Lets the three fly, and he gets the bucket. Henderson's got 6 points.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Rudez passes to Mahinmi. There's 39 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Watson. It's blocked. They retain possession. 4 on the clock. Can't get it to go. And the Hornets now going the other way.
It's still early, but they've started to establish themselves on the glass here.
Yeah, and that's due to their physical play. They're scrapping and clawing for each and every rebound out there.
Here's Roberts. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. And here's Henderson. Offline with his three. And so the first quarter wraps up without too much action on the scoreboard. Hornets lead by 3. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment.
Tune in Tuesday, November 25th. Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors go up against Dwayne Wade and the Miami Heat. Make sure to catch it.
Up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. Looking at what we've seen from the Hornets, what do you think?
Big boost from their bench there, guys, in that first quarter. They did a nice job coming in and really giving this team a lift.
Yeah, it's a nice attribute to have. Firepower coming off the pine early. That's good stuff.
Here is Hairston. Watson out there with C.J. Miles. Then it's Scola. Then there's Ian Mahinmi. And it's Rudez in at the 3 side. So that's the group out there for Indiana. Here's Roberts. No good from outside.
You know, even though he missed that three-point shot, I think the defense has to do a better job of challenging the shot.
Yeah, because you know if you continue to give up open looks like that, you're in big trouble.
Right side, Scola. Outside for Miles. 6 on the shot clock. Indiana needs to get a shot off. Watson for 3. It's Biyombo with the rebound.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, a little frustrated now, shaking his head after that miss.
To the inside. Mahinmi, terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint. Yeah, they've been the aggressors, Clark, and getting the ball inside into that lane area has been huge for them.
Here's Roberts. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. That drops.
That's 2 straight quick three-pointers they've allowed.
They better not make it 3 straight, because now all of a sudden you're looking at a hot streak.
Just about a minute and a half has gone by here in the second. Watson dishes to Scola. Inside. The shot by Mahinmi, no good. Hornets leading by 4. Here's Roberts. Pass to Hairston. The dish to Henderson. Fires it up. That one wide left.
Well, the shot was there for him, and he had to take it. I don't care if he didn't convert. He's got to take that every time.
Indiana making some changes. Chris Copeland's checked in for Rudez, and George Hill's subbed in for C.J. Miles. So an almost entirely new group in now for Charlotte. Al Jefferson's checked in for Biombo. Vonleh comes in for Zoe. And Stevenson's checked in for Hairston. And it's Pargo in for Brian Roberts.
C.J. Watson at 6'2" is an outstanding shooting combo guard. He's an excellent marksman from behind the three-point line, which helps his team space the floor, but he's also an underrated defender.
And for Watson, between his outside shooting guys and his solid defense, he makes a nice backup.
Yeah, pretty good at getting into the passing lanes and coming up with steals. You know, a player who spent a little time in the D-League out of college and now has really solidified his place as an NBA player.
Free throw drops for Watson. Roy Hibbert's checked in for Ian Mahinmi. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. It's not very often you can say this about the future is looking pretty bright in Charlotte.
So often the season ends and you're thinking about the issues you've got to deal with, but right now the Hornets headed in a good direction.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Well, Kevin, Al Jefferson, a veteran leader, and he's changed the Hornets locker room. A former coach, Doc Rivers, said, you know the people in your life who just bring sunshine? That's Al. He brings it wherever he goes. And guys, Big Al said of his young teammates, I don't talk much, but they really wanted to listen.
Doris just an easygoing guy. Great presence. Thank you.
And the generous spirit, too, Kevin, is Al Jefferson. I mean, in Utah, he never hesitated to mentor their young guys.
And for Charlotte, as you said, you know, part of it is feeling good with their direction, but also they should feel good that they actually have a direction after the way the last few years have gone.
Now here's Jefferson. Right now averaging 17 points a game. Here's Pargo, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
You know, having a direction, as you mentioned, had been a problem with Charlotte because they seem to change their minds every year about who they were going to be, and they did it for the last decade or so. Now it seems as though the base is solid, and they've got an idea of how they want to build and who they want to build around, and they've got a group that can grow together.
That's good from Pargo. Big part of why the Hornets were able to improve so much last year is they had an identity and Steve, a veteran presence on the team. And that goes a long way.
Well, they've had talent for quite some time, but without direction, it's not easy to make anything of it. I just think getting Al Jefferson in the middle kind of tied all those pieces together.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
And for the Hornets, you know, hey, they had some low points in the season, but they still found a way to rally around each other and not let things spiral south like they had in the past. Kudos to them for showing that kind of result.
Now here is Hill. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against the Bulls in Chicago. Here's Copeland. Makes no mistake on the open jump shot. Copeland's got his second basket of the night. Charlotte in the lead.
Well, one of the dynamics for this Bobcats team last year was they had a lot of veteran presence, so they're able to deal with adversity, get through that in advance, and I thought that really helped band this team together last year, and they went on to make the postseason.
Here's Pargo. And there's Al Jefferson on the assist from Pargo. Jefferson's got his second basket.
Well, you just can't give them that kind of position in the post.
I'll tell you what, when he gets it in that tight, he's going to bury those.
Outside Hill. Here's Copeland. Henderson defending. Here's Scola. Oh, took the contact and tried to throw it down over the top. but instead he'll shoot free throws.
Now, the Pacers gave up a lot to acquire Luis Scola from Phoenix last season, especially for a player who probably didn't fit in the Suns' plans anyway. He gave up Miles Plumlee, Gerald Green, and a first-round pick. That shows you how highly they thought of the Argentine power forward.
And he makes the first. And Scola, now 34 years of age, his field goal percentage, Clark, has dropped for 5 straight seasons.
Yeah, and his turnover rate rose last season as well, despite primarily shooting from outside. And I think part of that was the fact that he was a rotational player and a reserve for the first time in his career. He's been a career starter until just last season.
And he makes both free throws.
Well, this is what you have to do when you're trailing. You've got to attack, be aggressive, and get to that foul line.
And perhaps cause some foul trouble along the way. I mean, that can have a big impact down the road.
Now, here's Stevenson. He picked up 27 points in the last win against Dallas.
He got some huge points from the foul line, too, Kevin. He was very aggressive, generating contact and drawing fouls.
Kid Gilchrist with the steal. Passes it to Parker. Screen by Jefferson. Pargo kicks to Jefferson. And Vonleh has it in the corner. Charlotte moving it around. Down to 5 on the shot clock. 11 feet away. Another shot. And the foul goes on Roy Hibbert. West is checked in for Indiana. Walker's checked in for Charlotte. The Pacers pull it in. Copeland's got his 4th rebound in this one. 3 on 3. Hibbert inside. Defended by Jefferson. Hibbert hits the bucket.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
Walker against Hill. Steps back and shoots. Again, the miss by Walker.
He slipped into quite a funk here, Clark.
I think that's a good word to describe it. I mean, the basket is looking awfully small to him at the moment.
The feed now to Copeland. Here is Watson. He's covered by Kid Gilchrist. Watson, the pass to West. Here's Hibbert, and he gets it to go. Hibbert's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
Marvin Williams is checked in for Jefferson. And now let's bring you the list of the top 3-point shooting teams over the course of the past 10 games. Second, the Pacers.
They've been really pleased, Kevin, with their 3-point game. It's working better for them thanks to some adjustments they've made in their transition game.
Charlotte trailing. Walker with it. Vonleh setting the pick for Walker. Nobody near Kid Gilchrist, and the Hornets miss again. The Pacers have gotten a little under 50% of their second quarter shots to find the mark. 4 of 9 all told. Watson dishes to Hill. Pass to Hibbert. 6 to shoot. Shot that one, missing.
Well, you have to get a hand into his face because that's his range right there.
Walker goes in. He dishes it to Vonleh. Back to Walker to end the drought. Green for 2 points. Walker's got the game tied up here for the Hornets.
The entire defense was frozen footed. Nobody picked up the shooter, Kevin.
Hill against Walker. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Well, Steve, George Hill starting at point. Maybe more of a combo guard than a true point. What do you think?
Well, yeah, no question he's a combo. Career average of only about 3 assists. So
He's not a classic point guard. And a lot of people have argued that the Pacers need more of a playmaker, but I like what Hill brings to the table. Defensive-minded, smart, a team guy.